Mr. Shashi Sharma is a renowned spiritual blogger in India and a prolific writer of the haiku. An avid photographer, he has shot photos across India's spiritual spots, few of which we will be treated to this evening. I now invite Mr. Shashi to share with us the journey that led to Songs of the West.
Good evening, everybody. First of all, I'd like to say that I'm not a public speaker, so I don't know really how to speak in such kind of forums. But yes, I can probably, share my journey across the landscape from I portrait and how it came to be. Now, reading the book from the book, I wanted to take a book and start reading here, but then I realized that that's not the kind of thing I can do. So what I have taken the easier way out. What I've done, I'm going to show you some lines from my book, and where page 000 written, there it will show which page it is, and then if required, I will explain what do I mean by that. So now let me talk about my book. At a very basic level, it is a love story. It has got heartbreak and pain, and this is very simple love story where a boy runs away from home from Banaras, and goes to Himalaya, finds a monk who guides him back to Banaras. He must go back and finish your karma. That's the basic love story I have. But then it has also various underlying layers which I would like all the readers to get to and understand. Oh, by the way, this is the lines what you see in eternity we live come from. Life is one series of footprints. That is the first haiku from which the book starts. It's on page 1. It is a haiku. Haiku is a Japanese style of poetry where you paint pictures like this around you have here with 17 syllables. First line 5 syllables, second line 7 syllables, and last line 5 syllables. So basically creating a picture with words. Calliope is from, just to give you a background on the character, Calliope is from Vienna. Actually, I wanted her to be from Greece, but I have never been to Greece, so I really don't know how I can put that up. So I have to get her to be in Vienna so that I can talk about Vienna. Somehow, some authors do that they have not been there, but they write very well about it. I can't. So I have to make her go to Vienna. Greece is a lovely place. I wanted her to be from there. There's a Vasudha, another person who was a childhood friend of Ashutosh, who is the main character of the book. And she is a very practical kind of person, and she leaves Ashutosh, goes to Bombay, becomes a very big singer, but her idea about the love is very clear. Love is a kind of constant aggression between two individuals. With tools of indifference, both are trying to get under the skin of the other and take control. At this practical level, it is like this. Some people are more sensitive and some people are more conducive to this kind of affection. But Vasudha is a very clear person. Then we have Ayya. Ayya is a scientist in CERN in Geneva. He was doing the research on the God particle, from where he found certain things. He wanted to come back to Rishikesh and find the monk. And his idea of love is very clear. Love is basically a very selfish emotion. It is an expression of our own value reflected through the joy of having someone whose joy depends on us. If you see, if you love somebody and the day he or she smiles at you, you're happy. Next day, if she's not talking to you, you're unhappy. So you don't have a control over your happiness when you're in love. It is all about the other person. So that's what Ayya thinks, and I'm sure many of you will agree to that. Here comes the Ashutosh, my main character. He's a very sensitive person, and he's very emotionally attached to the people around him, and he runs away from Banaras because his brother and the whole family died. And this is actually truth. This comes from my life. My father's brother died and he went through the process. So probably I have used my own experiences in reality only in 2 places of the book. This is the one. Second one I will not tell you because then you have to buy the book for that. Pain is when you feel like stopping the sunrise. See, when you are in pain, just imagine that you don't want the sun to rise. You don't want the next morning because you're in such a dark place and you want everybody to be in that. And that's the way people, people feel when they're in pain. But as he says, mostly we are all designed to survive rather than to be happy. And prime example is evolution. Like we survive. Happiness is not given by the creators. Happiness created by us. That's what I feel, and that's what Ashutosh also thinks in the book. Now, Yogini Anishka is a very interesting character. I really enjoy her character, and when I was writing about her, so I had the feeling of a person, a young girl in whose house she has been exploited with various people, and also boyfriend, cousins, uncles, everybody is there who exploited her. And at the end of the day, she got alienated with this kind of situation, and she found solace in meditation, in yoga, and finally, in the beginning of the book, she decided that she wants to become yogini. And she says, I was still at peace and at peace. The kind of stillness of being nothing and doing things from that emptiness made me strong. The foundation stone of the book. He has a very holistic approach towards life, and that's what he has been teaching to most of the people who he comes across, and specifically in this book, he teaches Ashutosh this. We should not fear. In life, dying exists not as an end, but as a companion, walking each step of the path with you. You see, every step you take towards living is one step closer to dying. So, you have to take that as a given. After that, you will be able to work wonders with your life if you don't have that fear of dying. And that's what monk was teaching Ashutosh and other people around. Now, Kyaka. Kyaka is one very interesting character from the book. She's a tribal girl. And I'm going to ask, in the last of the presentation, I'm going to ask one question which I've asked quite a few who have read the book about this particular tribal girl. So that will come in the end. She is from the forest. She knows forest like anything, valleys, Himalayas, everything. And she has a very clear idea about the people. It is men who need to fight for the things that they don't need. And exactly what happens. Now I'll take you to the next, the deeper level of the book. Love. When the love is there, love usually transcends the limits of our physical existence to connect us with the beauty of life all around. When you love, actually, what happens that you are actually, everyone around you is beautiful. And that's how you feel when you are in love. And basically, you expand yourself in love. And when you do that, you connect with the nature, the people around you, everybody. It is what is said in by I forgot the name, but Purusha Prakriti. It's basically the concept is Purusha Prakriti, where the man and the nature. So that's where you go once you are in love. And the deep, my book is all about nature. You are walking through the Himalayas, forest everywhere, and this is the moment you are there. You should learn to live in the moments of now, and you will be alive forever. In fact, one of my friends who's sitting here said, how's that possible? Everybody says this, learn to live, be aware of now, everything, but it is not possible. Probably it is not, but with practice, with your focus, it can happen. And when you start living in now, what happens? That you live, actually you have the life to live. Because we don't live in the past, in memories. We don't live in the future with insecurities. We actually right now living. This is life, not what is there in the past or the future. And then you find some people who are so wonderfully equipped to give happiness, while some are miserable in the happiness too. You find so many friends like this actually. And this little girl is from a slum. I've taken a picture from a slum, and she was happy. She had nothing, but she was still happy. And when you see at her face, you actually become happy. So there are really people, wonderful people like that, and we should try to find those people within our own circle and try to, it will make you happy. Then the monk says, the nature provides us with all kinds of things to sustain, so what's the need to carry anything? You know, the Ashutosh asked him, we are going to travel in Himalayas, so but we don't have anything. He said, no, nature is there to provide for you. Why you need to carry baggage? And that's what we do most of the times. We carry baggage and we don't go far. Because of those baggages we carry, ego, desires, wishes, lust, everything is baggage. If once you leave that, then you can actually go very, very far. And because of that baggage, you remain tied to earth without knowing that you have hidden wings. And with those wings, you can fly high. And that's what people should strive to do. And that's what I personally feel. But the tragedy of men is that they look for shortcuts. But the nature is not looking for shortcuts. It has no intention of giving you a helping hand. You know, you try to look for shortcuts. The universe has a very clear idea that you go away from the path, what you are supposed to do, you are going to get into problem, and ultimately it leads to pain. And the pain is like, you know, like if I ask you to walk into a forest, how far you can go into the forest? If you are walking across the forest, till the half of the forest you are actually walking into. After the half of the forest, you are actually walking out of it. So the concept is very clear. It is our perception how we see. We are walking into. It is true for the path of pain. You necessarily have to travel that path until the time you are walking out of it. And the way has to pass through sufferings to cleanse ourselves from the burden of the past. And that's what happens. Pain. And then in those painful moments, in those kind of frustration or your emotional upheavals, the life drifts apart from you and ask you a question.